Hello everybody and welcome to Virtual Carnival Club Session 7. Today we're going to be taking a look at how to create simple neck collars for your costume. To start off with, I've got a few costume pieces I've already made which I'm going to share with you. Then I'm going to show you how to create your own template for the base of your neck collar. So let's just take a look at what I've been creating over the last few weeks. So here we have a neck collar that's just made out of plastic bags that have been wrapped around some elastic. So this is exactly the same technique as the skirt that I showed you a couple of weeks ago. It's just on a much smaller scale. So just take a closer look at that. So I've just folded around and pulled through some smaller pieces of the plastic bag. So that's made a lovely neck collar there. Then I've added lots of little flowers. Can you see there? Some little flowers, just to pull some of the colours through from the belt into the costume. Let's try this on. Let's take a look. There we go. So it's just a much smaller version of the skirt. I've also made like a little neck cuff here. This is just a strip of card all the way along there. I've stapled some elastic at the ends and added some smaller flowers. And I'm just going to pop that around my neck like so. Okay, so that just sort of finishes that off. So there's the neck collar and there's the skirt and the belt. So I think that looks really good. So let's take that off. There we are. Let's take a look at another one. So here we've got the belt, the skirt that I made during week 4. And this one was just made out of square pieces of material which were folded over and stapled. So again, I've just made a much smaller version here which goes around my neck like so. So it's really simple to make these costume pieces and it didn't take me very long at all. So I quite like that. So that goes lovely with the skirt as well. So let's take that one off. I've got another neck collar here. Now this one was remember I did a design themed on fire. So last time I made the belt, showed you how to make the belt for that. So we made a belt and we extended down from the belt. And this one is my neck collar and I've extended down from the neck collar. And I've just used exactly the same templates as I used in the belt on the corner there. And just put it around the neck collar instead. So this makes a really nice matching outfit. So let's have take another look. I've got one more here, slightly a bit different. Again, we've got the cuff around the neck, which is I'm going to show you how to create that in one moment. And then this I've just used crisp packets, turned inside out, cleaned obviously, and then just simply stapled in. And I've created a lovely little decoration just out of a lid. I think that was off of a gravy pot. A lid there and a little decoration inside, and then I've just put a little bit of a cardboard frill at the bottom there. Okay, so let's try that one on, so you can see what it looks like. There we go. So let's take a little look at how to create a simple neck template. So here we have just a paper version. So you just need some A4 paper for this. Okay, and a pencil. And you're going to need a side plate. So be very careful because they are breakable. And a dinner plate. So to begin with, I'm going to place my dinner plate onto my piece of A4 paper. You can see that there. And I'm taking the dinner plate right to the edge there and then make sure it's sort of evenly placed in the centre. Then I'm just going to draw around my dinner plate like so. So let me show you that. So if you notice, the dinner plate will go off the edge a little bit, but that's fine. We want that to do that, so that's okay. And then we're going to take a side plate like so. We're going to pop it again into the middle, and we want to make this top end here most probably about 5 centimetres, maybe 2 inches depth there. Make sure it's placed in the middle, and we're going to draw around. So that is the shape for your neck collar. So let me just show you that. There is some templates on our Virtual Carnival Club webpage which you can print out and just simply cut out. I think it's always good actually to have a go at making your own, because once you know these techniques, you've got them for life. Okay, so now I'm going to cut that one out. So here's one I cut out earlier. This is just on paper. I have drawn around this and placed it onto some card. And this just means that this template will last me a long time. So I'm going to put this in my kit and I can reuse it again and again and again as a template. So this was just done on a pizza box. Okay. So let me show you how to create a lovely neck collar with a little design down at the front there. So for this, you're going to need 2 pieces of A4 paper. And what I've done, I mean, you might have some A3, which is fine, but I've only got A4. So I've just sellotaped the 2 together. Can you see that? Just to make my work surface area bigger. And I'm going to lay that down on the table. I'm going to take my cardboard template, because it's nice and rigid and it's easier to draw around. And I'm just going to lay that on top of that paper. And then I'm just going to draw around it. So draw around the inner circle and the outer circle, like so. So let me just show you that. Can you see that on there? Now it's given me lots of space down at the bottom there to create another design. And depends on what outfit you want. So you want something that complements your costume. So let me just turn that round again. Now this is where keeping templates really comes in handy, because on my last session I created some nice fancy shapes on my belts. So this is what I want to do on my neck collar as well. Now because I've already created that, I can use that and draw around it, which is what I'm going to do for this one. So I'm just going to lay it on top there. Can you see that? So there's my neck collar at the top there. I'm just going to move it and position it till I'm happy, and then I'm going to simply draw around that, just make sure that's in the middle there, to get a lovely little shape at the bottom there. I don't know if you can see that very well. So let's just take a little look. There we go. So you've got the shape of the neck collar, and then we've got a lovely little design coming down the front there. So I'm going to cut that out and see what that looks like. So here we have the neck collar cut out, and I'm quite pleased with that. I like the shape in the middle there. I think that works really, really well. But it could be, you know, anything you like. It could have squares on it. It could have a nice scalloped edge to it. It might just have another long piece in the middle there. It's entirely up to you. So the next thing I need to do is I'm just going to round these edges off because they're a bit pointy. So let's just trim that off. So careful with the scissors again, as usual. See that? I've rounded that off compared to the other side. Let's just finish that one. So that is my template complete. Now this one will go into my kit so I can use it over and over again, or I might want to just make a few adjustments to it. So now we just need to place it onto some thin card. And again, I'm just using some packaging for this that I found in my recycled bin, and I'm going to cut that out and see what that looks like. So now I've cut out my simple neck collar out of card, and I've added some ties at the top there out of some soft fabric, and I've just stapled them from the back so that the flat edges are against the skin and the sharp bits are sticking out on the outside of the neck collar there. Now I put a little bit of sellotape over these just to make sure that we don't get yourself scratched on them at all. So then this just ties up around my neck. Let me just pop that on so you can see. So the next thing you need to do is decide on how you want to decorate this. You might want to colour this in, you might want to paint it, or you could add some of the wrapping paper that I used before, or it could be coloured card, or it could be fabric. And we're just using the same technique as before. So we're just going to use PVA glue with a spreader to spread the glue thinly, and then lay your fabric or material on top and cut it out when it's dry. So now I'm going to show you how we can extend down from the neck collar to decorate the upper half of the body. After watching Hannah's video the other week on how to create really amazing headdresses for Carnival, I decided to create some for my costumes as well. So here I've got one that I've made, and this is a big up to the NHS and all the good work that they've been doing, and all the other key workers as well. So this is just a rainbow made out of lots of coloured card, which I then decorated with some lovely pieces of cotton wool to make clouds. And it's just mounted onto simple card headband and tied at the back with some t-shirt material. So that was quite a simple headdress to make. But this inspired me to make a lovely colourful neck collar to go with it. So I've already started my neck collar here, and I'm just going to show you how I created this. So the first thing I did was to fold some coloured thin card into a concertina shape like that, a bit like a fan. So it's just folded backwards and forwards. I'm just going to quickly show you how I did that. Now I took a piece of coloured card, lay it down on the table, and I took a ruler. Now I'm going to lay the ruler on top of the card, and I'm going to fold the card over the top of the ruler, like so. Let me just show you that. Okay. Now it's about 1 centimetre. You could make it a little bit wider if you want to, so it could be more like 1.5 centimetres or 1/2 inch. Fold that over, and I take the ruler away. So let me just show you that. And there we go. And I'm going to turn the paper around, lay it down again, and then I'm going to fold it over the ruler again, going back. Now you want to keep these folds about the same width. So again, I'm doing it about 1 centimetre. So let me just show you that. There we go. Can you see that? So then I'm going to lay it back down on the table and fold it back on itself again. So you keep doing this about 10 times until you've worked your way down the paper, and then you can cut the piece of paper off here once you've got your 10 folds in. So here's one I made earlier. Okay, can you see that? So the next thing I'm going to do is then shape the end of here to make it nice and pointy. Do you like that? I quite like that. It gives it a little bit of more shape to it. So let me show you how I did that. I took the piece of paper or card, hold it down near the top there, and I'm just going to cut that end off. Now you might want an adult to help you do this because it is quite hard cutting through 10 pieces of paper. Okay, so let's just cut that off. Let's have a little look. There we go. So I'm quite happy with that, but that is quite tricky. So please get somebody to give you a hand. And then the next thing, I'm just going to lay it next to, make sure that looks all right, next to the pieces I've made already. Now the next thing I did was to, because it's tapered round the neck a little bit, if you have a little look at that, it's thinner at the neck than it is at the edges. So I took my concertina piece, I'm just going to take the centre bit, the centre two, like so, and I'm just going to staple those together. Let's find my stapler. There we go. Let me just show you a bit closer. And you see I pulled it in at the top now, so it's going to fan at the bottom and go in a little bit at the top, because this is going to go on my neck collar. And then I'm going to do it to the orange one as well, so just show you again. Let's take the 2 centre pieces, like so, and then I'm going to staple that in place. Okay, so I've got my shapes there, I'm really happy with that. Let's lay that down again so we can have a little look. And then what I did is I put like a little gold decoration in the middle here, just to give it a little bit more interest. And this was just straws that I made. Again, this is what Hannah showed us when she was showing us how to make headdresses. Made some straws out of the gold wrapping paper, so I think they've come out really well. And they're quite strong actually, so these would be good in a headdress as well. And then I'm just going to place those straws in between. Let's get one that fits better. In between each folded piece. So I'm now going to put that on the very, very edge there, and I'm just going to pop a stapler in just to keep that in place. It's a little bit fiddly, so you might want to get an adult to give you a hand. Sometimes these things are a two-man job. Let's pop that in there. It's quite stiff as well because you're going through quite a lot of card there. So can you see I've stapled that down the edge of that yellow one. So what goes next, I believe it's the orange. So I'm going to pop the orange next to that gold straw, and I'm going to staple that in from behind. So I'm going to open that up a little bit, put those two together. So that's the straw in there, yellow's that side, orange that side, and let's pop another stapler in. You might want to pop 2 in if it feels a little bit weak. I might come back to that in a minute. I'll see how the rest goes. And then I'm going to, I'm going to pop another piece, another staple in down the bottom there, because that is a little bit fiddly. Let's pop another one in. There we go. And now I'm going to pop another straw in at the side here. So again, let me just show you. I'm going to put the straw down the edge of my fan there, and then I'm going to staple that in. So you sort of have to open your fan up a little bit and staple, but that's fine because we can just fold that back in place again. And now I'm going to take, so just have another look at that. There we go, along the edge. I'm going to take my red and staple that on the edge there, next to the orange. It's a little bit fiddly, but we'll get there in the end. Bit of patience, bit of perseverance. Let's staple that down. Let's have a little look at that. There we go. We hold that up. There we are. Okay, so this is going to go around my neck collar. I think that looks fantastic. Actually, looking at it, that could make a really good skirt as well, couldn't it? Look at that. Wow, that's given me some ideas. Might have to do a skirt as well. So next thing, I'm going to take my neck collar that I created earlier. This one hasn't got the design in the middle. This is just another one that I've made. Got my ties on. And then I'm just going to lay this on top of there, like so. Smooth that out the way. Let's take a little look at that. So that is just going to go onto my neck collar like so. Now I think to do that, I'm going to use some PVA glue. So I'm going to PVA glue that, leave that for a couple of hours to dry, and then we can take a look at it. So here we have the neck collar. It's all stuck in place now, so I'm quite pleased with that. It's got a lovely shape to it. I think I might just finish it off with a few clouds around the neck there so it matches the headdress. Let's take a look at another way of extending down from our neck collars. So here I just want to show you a slightly different way of extending down from your basic neck collar shape there. And this is just using crisp bags. So I quite like this, it catches the light really, really well. So I've taken the crisp bag, I've made sure I've turned it inside out, and then I've given it a good clean with some soapy water and let it dried. And then I've got this idea of maybe stuffing it with a bit of newspaper or a toilet roll or anything you've got to hand to pad it out a little bit. So my plan is to extend a little bit further out from here. So these ones, if we take a little look around the back, have just literally just been stapled around your neck collar there. So it's nice and simple. And I'm just going to add another one, a bit of padding on, I think I'm going to do it on this one, coming out at the side. So I'm going to put a bit of sellotape along the edge there just to seal it. Like so. Pop that down. Let's fold that over there around the edge. And then I'm going to turn this over and I'm going to literally just tape it on the back of that one there. It's sort of coming down halfway down, I think, on that other crisp packet. Let's turn it over and let's just take a little look. Can we see that? So then we're layering it up, so it's giving it a bit of texture. Let's pop that on the other side. Let's do the same. So put a sellotape. Let's seal the bag up. Wrap it over. And then pop it halfway down that bag there. What I'll do in a minute, I'll try it on and see what it looks like. I've not done this before, so I have no idea how this is going to come out. Fingers crossed. Have a little look. There we go. Oh, I quite like that. It's padding it out a bit, isn't it? Can you see that? I do like that. So I might do another couple round the back and we can see what that looks like. Do you know what I might do as well? I might make a skirt like this. So I just make a simple belt. Then I might make lots of these padded pieces of crisp bags turned inside out and just keep making layers of them coming down off the skirt. Sounds like a good idea. It's going to keep you busy. So anyway, here's another version for a neck collar then. And remember, in Carnival we usually have decorations in the front here. So this one is just a lid off of something with a colour card in, and then a star that I found on a box that I quite liked, so I cut it out. But the decorations can be whatever you want them to be. Another thing you can do is you can add lots of tassels of plastic bags or crisp bags, or cut into strips and make tassels coming down from your neck collar. Or it could be, again, it could be just pieces of fabric simply cut into strips coming down from your neck collar. So it's entirely up to you. Okay. So now I've added some more padded pieces of crisp packets to this neck collar. I'm quite pleased with that. It's given it lots of volume and it'll have lots of movement to it as well. And it's nice and shiny. So this is really quite a simple one to make. So I'm definitely going to be making a skirt to match this. What I'll do is I'll put an image of it onto our Facebook page, our Virtual Carnival Club Facebook page, because you can take a look. So I might get going with that this afternoon. I really hope you've enjoyed today's session on how to make simple neck collars. If you've got any questions or anything, just write us a message on the Virtual Carnival Club Facebook page and I will get back to you. Please keep your pictures posted because I really like to see what you've been up to. So I think that's it from me. Bye bye.